I'm Jonathan Sandmel from Steady Networks, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about some of the cures for PC slowness. Now, PC slowness is something that you may have come to expect as normal. That's not our perspective on it. There are very tangible things that you can do to address PC slowness and try to prevent it and work it out of the system in the long term. It's all about increasing your productivity for your business, and maintaining that PC speed is one part of that. Now, the first item I want to talk about is maybe the most obvious, which is viruses. So viruses can be one of the main causes of PC slowness. It doesn't necessarily always render your computer inoperable, so they can kind of lurk in the background and cause problems just waiting to either cause a big problem or just cause small inefficiencies in the short term, and that kind of productivity is not something that your business can sustain. So having a tiered approach to preventing viruses and remediating viruses, I know no one likes to do it, but a bad virus infection means you're going to have to wipe out the whole computer. So it's better to have an ounce of prevention before you have to apply a pound of cure. That can mean creating layers of protection at the firewall, something called DNS filtering, content filtering, the antivirus that lives on your computer, spam filtering, as well as good education for your staff and making sure that they understand how to prevent viruses in the long term. Okay, that's number one. Number two is a variant of viruses, something I would call malware or bloatware. So malware is typically things like search bars and installations, toolkits, things that don't benefit you. Maybe even you accidentally leave a checkbox marked when you're downloading some software, or you try some freeware, realize it's not at all what you expected, and it's just lurking in the background, eating up resources. So that's one problem. The other one is called bloatware, and so nicknamed because it just is a bloated feature that you don't really need. A lot of manufacturers, Dell, HP, Lenovo, this software will come pre-installed on a laptop or a workstation, and they have some perceived value in it, but really you're not going to leverage it like you are Word, Excel, PowerPoint, things like that. So you might as well just get rid of it, have it not sucking up any resources on the PC. Number three, I'm going to call networking. Now, this is a big topic, and it's not the fastest solution, but it's one that's going to reap huge rewards over the long term. Making sure that you've got a process to clean up your network and not be daisy chaining one switch into the next throughout the network, making sure you've got consistent gigabit connections and enterprise professional class hardware is really going to reap huge rewards of productivity over the long term. We came into a network just a few months ago, and they were complaining that their internet speed was very slow. They were paying for a 100 meg Comcast connection, and they were not getting those speeds. They were getting just a tiny fraction of it. We came in, we cleaned out the network, we pulled out lots of different hardware that didn't need to be there, optimized the hardware that should have been in there, and suddenly they were getting lightning speed. It wasn't disconnecting anymore. So improving and paying close attention to the network can reap huge rewards over the long term. The next one I want to talk about is hardware. So hardware includes the actual computer itself. I know nobody wants to pay for a bunch of unnecessary upgrades, but if you're experiencing PC slowness and you feel like your productivity is being impacted negatively, sometimes the best solution is just to buy a new computer, and your PC specialist, your IT specialist should be able to advise you on that. Hopefully they've already been giving you that recommendation and it's been sitting on your desk waiting to be ignored. But if you want to regain some of those hardware and those speed efficiencies, sometimes you're going to have to make that investment in new hardware. And the last one I want to talk about, I'm going to call it tune-up. So you really want to make sure that you've got a good process over the long term to keep your PC tuned up, working properly. And that's things like defragging, and we don't expect our customers to do it themselves. We have ways to automate this, but having good patch management so that you've got the good updates that you need that are going to provide security and technology improvements, and not bad updates that are either going to break something that's working or slow down or cause unnecessary delays on your computer. So having a good process for tuning up, maintaining all of the essential pieces of software that you want on your computer, you've got to have a process for that over the long term. Otherwise, things are going to get unnecessarily patched. Things are going to be installed. There's no process to maintain third-party plugins like Flash and Java. You've got to have process to keep those things tuned up and working properly over the long term. That's how you're going to get the best cure for your PC slowness. Again, my name is Jonathan Sandmel from Steady Networks here in beautiful Albuquerque, New Mexico. And if you had more questions about it, my number, 505-819-5471. Call me directly, and I'm happy to answer any questions. In the meantime, click if you would like to set up a meeting, or give me a shout over phone or email, and we'll answer all your questions. Thanks, and have a great day.